everyone, Vanessa here from Love Riley. Welcome back. Today we're going to be sewing up this new bag by Oro Rosa Patterns. This is the mini Cata bag and it's the little sister to the bigger Catalina crossbody bag. This is the brand new release and it is adorable. Now when I say that you're going to be addicted to making this pattern, I'm not lying. I have made this one and I've got 4 more ready to cut out and ready to sew. Hopefully I'll be able to finish more by the time the pattern comes out, and if I am, I'll add photos to the end of this. But the next one that I've got, I've added a slip pocket and then I've also added card slots to another one, so I may do videos for those. But this bag is just so freaking cute. And another great thing about this pattern is the pieces are small, so all those scraps that you've got laying around and you don't know what to do with because they're too small to do anything with, this is the bag for that. These take hardly any vinyl at all. So you can either piece together the front like I did, and I knew as soon as I saw this that I had to do it in a rainbow. There are some beautiful bags that the other testers have made, whether they've pieced together their bags on the front the same as I have, or they've used one whole panel. So the choice is yours, but it is beautiful. It is such a quick sew. It can also be worn as a wristlet or a crossbody bag. So this is it with a chain. I'm probably going to sell it as a wristlet but then offer a chain as well if they want to purchase that separately. But it's the perfect size bag for a night out and not having to carry a lot of stuff with you. So it has 2 D-rings again, so you can add your wristlet strap to either side or use it as a crossbody. Another great thing that I absolutely love about this pattern is its minimal hardware. You've got 2 zipper pulls, 2 D-rings and a swivel clasp, a Chicago screw, and that's it. And then if you want to add more, you can either add a chain strap or you can do a crossbody strap, whichever you like. But I absolutely love that you do not use a lot of hardware for this bag. So it is finished with binding. This is by far the easiest bound bag I've ever made, and the binding on this was so neat I even surprised myself. So this is the inside of the bag. This is just plain on both sides. I've not added anything else. So there is plenty of room in there. It holds my phone comfortably. I'd be able to fit keys in there, lip gloss, lipstick, small bits of makeup. It really is a great size. I absolutely love this pattern. I am going to order templates for this. And it's such a quick sew. So if you've got a birthday party and you've forgotten a gift, you can really quickly whip one of these up. They're going to love it. Again, you could add a slip pocket on the back. You could add a zipper if you really wanted to. You could add card slots. This is the back of the bag. It's just one whole panel. You could do one whole panel or you could piece together the back as well to match the front. The choice is yours. I just chose to use one panel for the back and the gusset. And I just chose black vinyl for my accent because I really wanted the rainbow to be the feature of the bag, and I am just so happy with this. I cannot say enough good things about it. I had absolutely no issues at all with this bag. The binding was so easy to do. I'm pretty sure that I didn't even need to use staples on the gusset. I think I just used clips, which is unusual for me because most of the time I've got to use staples. I did clip the gusset just to fit the main panels in, but it didn't really need a lot. It really went together so well. I didn't have to spend a lot of time easing it in, and I absolutely love this bag. Please go and get the pattern. It really is good and you are going to love it. So if you'd like to see how I made this, then keep watching. Have an amazing day. Bye. Okay, let's go over all our pattern pieces. There aren't actually that many here. This black exterior vinyl I got from Homecraft Textiles, and I'll leave a link for it in the description below. Here I have my wristlet strap. I've marked my line down the center. I've added double-sided tape. I've not interfaced this with anything. I've got one of these. Next I have my gusset pieces. I've got one exterior Decaville light as per the pattern, and one lining. I'm using waterproof canvas that I had custom printed through By the Bay Craft Supplies. I've not interfaced that with anything. So one of each of those. I've got my zipper panels. I've got 2 out of my exterior vinyl. I've not interfaced that at all. And I've got 2 out of my lining waterproof canvas, not interfaced. These are my D-ring connectors. I've got 2 of these out of my exterior vinyl. Decaville light as per the pattern. I've marked a line down the centre and added some double-sided tape. 2 of those. Moving on to our main panel. I'm actually doing the pieced main panel. There's 6 individual parts for this. They all get sewn together and then that creates your exterior pattern piece. If you don't want to do that, you don't want to piece them all together, what you would do is cut 2 main panels out of your exterior vinyl and 2 out of your lining. But because I'm doing the pieced vinyl, I've got 1 for the back out of my exterior vinyl and 2 waterproof canvas for my lining, not interfaced with anything. For the pieced front pattern pieces, there's 6 of these. I'm doing mine in a rainbow. When you're doing the piece front exterior, you need to be mindful of how it's cut, because I did mine the wrong way and had to redo it. This is actually perfect for any little scraps that you've got laying around. So what I did was I had my vinyl right side up, I put my pattern piece right side up, traced around it and then cut it out, as you can see here. So that's what I got there, and I did that for all my pieces. Now what it tells you to do in the pattern with your Decaville light and your stabilizer piece is to put this right side up with your glue side. You trace around it and cut it out. I didn't do that because I find it difficult to draw on the glue side. So what I did was I put mine with the glue side on the table and I turned my pattern piece over so they were wrong sides together. Traced around it, cut it out. So that's how I cut mine. But all my pattern pieces were right side up. Right side of the vinyl facing up and the pattern piece right side up on top of that. And it's also perfect if you've got tiny little scraps of Decaville as well that you keep laying around. You've got to trace these markings onto your pattern piece. So what I did was I looked and I knew that this hashtag went against this straight edge here. So I just flipped it over and transferred the markings. So as you can see, that is correct. I'm not sure if you can see through there, but there's the A there, the arrow pointing up, and the hashtag is over on this side. So I just transferred all of these markings as per this pattern piece. Okay, so that's piece A. All of the vinyl that I'm using I had as scraps, and it's all marine vinyl. This is my pattern piece B. Again, right sides up, my Decaville. Now, as you can see, I made an error and I transferred the marks incorrectly. The ones that have got the little tick underneath, they're correct. So, on this side, which is the long side, it's meant to have the diamond. And on the shorter straight edge, it's meant to have the hash, that's what it has now. So that's my pattern piece B. This is my pattern piece C. As you can see on this piece, again, I marked it wrong. On the long straight edge, it's meant to have the heart, and on the opposite edge, the diamond. I did mine back to front, but now I know I've crossed those out that these are correct, these top ones here. I'm using marine vinyl for that as well, and the Decaville light is as per the pattern. This is piece D. This is not marine vinyl. This is like a mid-weight vinyl that I got from online bag supplies, but it's just beautiful. So that's piece D. The arrow is on the longest side, the heart on the shorter one, and I've transferred those and marked the top. Piece E has the little infinity symbol as well as the triangle as per the pattern. So I've done that. So that's piece E. And then lastly is piece F. This one only gets marked on the long side, the long straight edge with the infinity symbol. So I've got all of those ready to go. And because I am a little bit extra, and this is a rainbow after all, I am going to actually change my thread for the top stitching on every single portion. So I have all my colours here that I get from Proso. I don't actually have that much purple left. I'm going to have to order some more, but that's my purple. I'm using rose gold for my bobbin colour. Hardware. I'm choosing just to do the wristlet. I'm not doing a crossbody strap. So I've got for my wristlet 2 D-rings, a swivel clasp, I've got 2 number 5 zipper pulls, I've got a name tag, and I've got 5 Chicago screws. And zipper tape. I'm going to use this black and rainbow zipper tape. So I believe that's it. If I forgot anything, I'll leave a note on the screen. So let's sew up this adorable little bag. Okay, first colour is going to be red. I actually don't like leaving projects half done, but I do have a bag sitting over in the corner. It's not in the naughty corner, it's just that I haven't finished it, but this pattern came out today for us testers and I was like, I've got to do it, because I always leave it to the last minute and then I stress. So I'm not doing that this time, I'm getting it done. You also need binding. This is a bound bag. Okay, we want piece A and B. Okay, you want to match these up right sides together. Okay, so we've got the hashtag here on this piece and then here. Right sides together. And we're going to sew that with the seam allowance given in the pattern, and then we're going to open that and top stitch it. I feel like I've forgotten to do something. I hate that feeling. What I am going to do is I'm just going to do a second row right next to the first one. Just because I don't want my stitches to pull. And this actually gets top stitched on both sides. We want to open this out. We want to butterfly this open. Just like that. Now I'm going to top stitch down on the red side. And then I'm going to change my thread. Okay, that's red. Now I'm going to change my thread to yellow. And I just use these non-slip mats and cut them up, and that holds my thread into place. And I'm doing that 1/8 of an inch. So that's A and B together now. So now we want piece C, and again you want to match up the long edges. We want the diamond face down with the diamond. So right sides together, and we're going to sew that with the seam allowance given in the pattern. And I am going to do that second row. And then these get opened out, and I'm going to top stitch down on the yellow side. So make sure you're butterflying open that seam so it lays flat. So the seam of my yellow is underneath my yellow panel and the pink is under the pink. Look at how adorable that is. Okay, next I get to change my thread again. Okay, I can top stitch down this pink side. Then we want piece D. It's got the heart and the triangle. Long side here against the long side here. And we're going to sew that with the seam allowance given in the pattern. And this is going to be our heart. I've marked it wrong on this piece. Okay, so I marked it wrong. It's actually meant to be the heart here and the triangle against this side, but that's okay. So basically, when you're doing these right sides together, all your pointed edges should be up the top and all your curves should be face down. But you'll know because all of these edges all these edges that we're sewing fit together. Okay, do my second row. We're butterflying these seams open, and I'm going to top stitch on the pink side. So I'm pushing these out. You can use a seam roller if you want to. And again, I'm doing it 1/8 of an inch from the seam, the middle seam. Now we get to change our colour again. Now we can top stitch this green side. Oh, that's pretty. That's what it's looking like from the back. That's what we've got so far. Oh, that is beautiful. Piece E, which is the purple, and again, right sides together. So my pointed edges are up the top, my curvy edges are down the bottom, and these two fit perfectly along this edge. And we're sewing that with the seam allowance given in the pattern. Two rows of stitching and butterfly that out and top stitch. This purple wants to be naughty and jump across. I'm just unpicking these because the purple kept pushing over and I went offline with my top stitching, and I do not like that. And I think it's because there is such a difference in this vinyl. Most people probably would have left it, but no. I'm going to leave long tails, and I'm going to pull the threads through and tie them off at the back. So hopefully you won't see that. I'm going to start here. And I'm not going to back stitch. Then I'm going to finish there, and then that should be it. Well, let's hope you don't see anything. I'm just going to heat seal these without my fan blowing them out. Fantastic. Let's do the purple. Let's top stitch that down. Okay. And then we've got blue. Last piece, piece F, right sides together. Again, it should fit perfectly against here. And we're going to sew that on with the seam allowance given in the pattern. Then I'll do my second row. And then we're going to top stitch. Oh, this is so cute. I love it. And then all I've got to do is go over to blue and finish this top stitching. I will be changing to black for the rest of the bag. These cutting plastic mats I've shown in my mail opening videos. I get these from Temu, and they're a great alternative if you've got a brand new pattern and you need to do this next step. And if you're fussy cutting anything and you haven't got access to templates, or you can't afford acrylic templates, and you're not even sure how many of these you're going to make, you can use these cutting mats. So what I'm doing is I'm tracing out the main exterior piece. Then I'll cut this out, and what it'll allow me to do is put this over the top of the panel that I've just sewn and make sure that everything's lined up. So now I've got my main panel. I can lay that over the top of the panel that we just sewed, and we can cut that out according to the pattern. So what I've done is I've laid that over the top, and now I can go ahead and trim all of this excess down, and then it'll match up perfectly with my exterior back. So you're going to end up trimming off all these pointy bits at the top. Okay, now that's even. Matches up perfectly with our other exterior panel. Next I'm going to install my nameplate. When we're doing this part where we're installing our nameplate, keep in mind your seam allowance. So what I'm going to do is actually do mine right where I had to do that extra row of top stitching because I stuffed it up. So I'm going to do it right there. So I'm going to do mine 2 inches down from the top, and that looks like good a place as any. And this template piece I got from Brimax. I talk about it all the time. This ensures that my nameplate is in the middle and straight at all times. I also got a new craft knife. This is the Fiskars one. I got this from Officeworks. Oh, that's nice. I've got my nameplate, my washer. I am also going to use an extra bit of Decaville white on the back. Yes, I'm really happy with that. I like this. I like how it fits in your hand. Put my washer on, and I'm going to fold these into the middle as flat as possible. And I'm going to use masking tape to cover up that, because I do not want this to rub through into my lining. You can use duct tape or double-sided tape. Just make sure that it's covered. And then that is my front panel. Look at how gorgeous that is. I love it. Okay, moving on. Now that I've changed my thread to black, I'm going to go ahead and work on my wristlet strap. So I've marked a line down the center, added double-sided tape, folding it in just under that line because this does get folded over again. So you want to leave a little gap in the middle like we would a crossbody strap. And then this gets folded across again in half. I'm just going to have to clip mine because it's wanting to lift up. I'm not used to doing straps this little. Alright, while I'm here, I'm just going to do my D-ring connectors as well and just get all that done. These get folded in to meet each other, and we're going to top stitch these down. So top stitch down each side. This double-sided tape does not want to be nice at the moment. Oh, what? What is going on? I don't appreciate your defiance, okay? What I'm going to do is get my D-rings. I'm going to match up the seam of my D-ring to the inside seam of my connector, and I'm going to base these along the bottom so they cannot move. Okay, that's those done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sew the open edge of my strap 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to come across the top and then back down the finished side. And then across the bottom. And then that's done. I might just finish my strap while I'm here. I'm going to get my swivel clasp. I'm going to feed that on. And I'm going to bring the opposite end up to just under where the swivel clasp sits, and I'm going to fold that down. Now you've got a couple of, so then it's a wristlet strap. You've got a couple of options. You can, if you trust your machine and if you've got a powerful enough machine, you can actually stitch through all of these layers, or you can add a rivet or a Chicago screw. I'm going to attempt to sew it just across the bottom, and then I'm going to add a Chicago screw as well. That's it. I'm just going to do 1 row of stitching. You could do 2. Oh, I can use my new hole punch. What one is it? Oh, it's got sizes. Oh, the old one didn't have sizes. Alright, so we're going to go around to 4. 4.5, 4, which would be perfect for my Chicago screw. It has been a long time since I last made a wristlet strap. A long time. And oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. That compared to my old one is unbelievable. There is no way that my old hole punch would have been able to do all those layers. No way. But that went through a lot of layers of vinyl there. Thank you. Love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, get a Chicago screw. These are, I think, the medium ones that I got from Temu. They've got the long posts, the screw posts, so oh, that went straight in. And then I can use my non-slip mat on that side. There we go. That's my wristlet strap done. We can set that to the side. Okay, next you want pack number 2, and that is going to consist of both of your exterior pieces and your lining pieces. So you want to go ahead and grab all those. Because this is such a small bag, there's no pockets. All we're going to do is put these wrong sides together, and we're going to base this on because it does get finished with binding. So you're just going to join these together and baste it on using 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. So again, that's my exterior, and then there's my lining. And we're basting these at 1/8 of an inch. Okay, that's one side done. And you can go ahead and you can trim any overhang that you have. Okay, so that's that piece, and you're going to do the same with your back exterior. So, wrong sides together, and we're going to baste that into place. 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And again, trim any overhang that you have. That's both of those done. We can set those to the side, and next you want your zipper panels and your gusset. Okay, so we're going to start with our zipper panels first. So you've got your 2 exterior and you've got your 2 lining. I'm just going to cut my zipper extra long so it's out of my way. I'm going to heat seal the end. Going to get one of my linings, find the center. Find the center of your zipper panels. Okay. What I'm going to do is have my lining right sides up and my zipper tape right sides up, and I'm going to baste that into place. And I'm just doing that using an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to get my exterior. I'm going to put that right sides together, matching up my centers, and this is going to get sewn at the full seam allowance. Then these get pushed out, and we're going to top stitch. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to baste my 2 raw edges together at an 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to top stitch. That's one side done, and you want to repeat. So I'm just going to mark the center of my zipper. Again, right sides up on right sides up of my lining and my zipper tape, basting that on. Look at me, not using many clips this time. Who is this person? Then, right sides together with our exterior. I will clip this because no doubt I will stuff that up now I've set it. And we're going to sew that on with the seam allowance given in the pattern. Now, this seam allowance is different to what's in the pattern. And that is just because I don't want to change to a zipper foot. So when I top stitch this and compare it to my gusset, I'm probably going to have to trim some of it down because it's probably going to be too wide, but that's okay. So again, I'm just lining up my raw edges. Basting these together, and then I start my top stitch. That's it. Now I'm going to put on my zipper pulls before I forget. There's one and there's the other. Make sure that when they're in the center there's no weird bumps. We are going to put our D-rings on. Okay, what I'm going to do is get a ruler and a pen, and it gives you a measurement in the pattern of how much these get overlaid by. So go ahead and mark that. Make sure that you're using an erasable pen. Make sure that your zipper pulls are on. And then this goes in the middle here. Now, this gets lined up at that mark that we made earlier. So just here, and we're going to sew that on, baste that on. So that's basted on that side, and then this side is the same. So you're going to line up that overhang mark that we made with the edge of your zipper panel and baste that in place directly over your zipper teeth. And then you can trim down any excess zipper tape that you have, or you can leave it in your gusset seam. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. I don't need that much. Do not trim those overhangs of your connector. You want those in your seam. Heat seal that so it doesn't fray. I want my gusset exterior. I've already gone ahead and found the centers, and that is going to get placed right sides together with your zipper panel. And oh, mine fits perfectly. Fantastic. Now I'm going to baste that on, and then I'll add my lining. Basting this on at 1/8 of an inch. Make sure that your connectors are out of the way so you're not sewing through those. Okay, now what I have done is I have gone ahead and I've just done a zigzag over my connector just to try and reinforce it. So I've just gone backwards and forwards. That's what it looks like on the wrong side. So now I'm going to get my lining gusset right sides together with our lining panel, and this is going to get sewn at the full seam allowance in the pattern. Now it does say that your gusset may be a little bit wider at this stage than your zipper panels. That's okay. Do not stress about that. So this is my full seam allowance, again making sure everything is out of the way. And I am going to do a second row of stitching just next to the first. Again, do not trim down these connector pieces. Then we're going to top stitch this open. So wrong sides together, and we're top stitching through there. Now this is going to be quite thick. Depending on the materials you've chosen, this is going to be thick, but we can do it. I've got a piece of vinyl here that I'm going to put behind my foot so it doesn't tear up my vinyl as I come back down. Okay, and then we're going to repeat. So make sure your D-ring is out of the way, right sides together. I'm going to baste that on. Then turn it over, lining, right sides together, and we're going to sew that at our full seam allowance. So this is my full seam allowance. Again, make sure your D-rings are out of the way as well as your zipper pulls. So when I come in and do my second row for reinforcement, that's where I'm going to go ahead and do that zigzag as I did before. And that's done. So that's all reinforced. Okay, turn it out, and we're going to top stitch. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely tiny. I'm top stitching now through my exterior and my lining. And I'm going to use that spare piece of vinyl that I've got to protect my hardware coming back down, as well as my vinyl. I do not want that torn up. Now, because this bag does get finished with binding, we can go ahead and sew this so it's one complete loop. Oh my goodness, look at how tiny this is. Alright, so what you want to do is turn it right sides out, and we're going to pull these two layers so they're taut, and we're going to sew these two layers together, so our lining and our exterior, so it's one big round piece. So I'm just going to start here on our zipper panel because that's already sewn together as one piece. I'm just doing it 1/8 of an inch. You can clip it if you want to. But as I go around, I'm just pulling it taut. Okay, that's one side done. And then we want the second side done. So again, I'm going to start on that zipper panel, 1/8 of an inch, and pulling it taut. There we go, that's done. Now, if you need to come in and just clip any little overhang bits, just do it now. I'm going to use my stapler. Okay, now what you want to do is, if you haven't already, you want to find your centers. So just go ahead and clip those. So what I've done to find my side centers is I've just joined my two top centers together and clipped on these edges here. So that's it. Now we get to put it all together. So I'm turning it. I'm looking at the exterior. Then you want your two exterior pieces, and you're going to place these right sides together. So it's probably best to find the center of your exterior panels if you haven't already. Okay, I've got my centers marked, so I'm just going to start putting that right sides together, matching up those centers, and I'm going to start clipping these together. I'm so excited for this. It's going to be just gorgeous. Okay, and then I'm going to come to the bottom again. I'm going to match up my centers and start clipping. I'm not sure if I will need staples for this, but we shall see. What I am going to do before I do anything else in terms of matching these together is I'm going to go ahead while I've got it like this, and I'm going to baste along the top here so that it's not going to move when I try and put it all together. So again, I'm just going to baste along here on both edges. So I'm only doing it on the straight edge. And I'm going to stop right there. So now that's basted in place and it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm going to do the same on this side. And I'm going to stop just before that starts curving. What I'm going to do is in my gusset, I'm going to come along and I'm going to put little snips into my gusset. Now I do not want to snip more than 1/8 of an inch. And this is going to help our exterior lay into our gusset. So again, you don't need big snips. Remember your seam allowance. Just little snips, 1/8 of an inch and probably 3/4 of an inch apart. And then what that's going to do is that's going to help us be able to match these two together. So do it on both sides. And I'm going to use staples for this. I've got to trim the overhang. And I should have found the centre of my exterior sides. So just go ahead and find the centre. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to fit our exterior into our gusset. So first I'm going to join these two together here at those side seams, and I'm just going to put a couple of clips. Now if you see that it's not going in, come and put some more clips in to try and ease that in. But you want to work this in so that it's all flush. So what I'm going to do is put clips here to begin with. And then when I'm happy that it's all correct and it's all flush, I'm actually going to come back in with some staples. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here and do these bits here. Yeah, you just may have to work it and see if you need more clips. So don't be afraid to put a couple more clips in there to work that in. But those clips help both of them fit into each other very nicely. You can see from this side there is a tiny little bit of an overhang here, so I'm just going to trim that down so that it's even. I'm just going to trim a tiny bit here. There we go. Now that's perfect. So that's one side done. So you're going to go ahead and do it on the other side as well. But what I'm going to do, just going to clip this here for the moment. And what I'm going to do, oh my goodness, look at that, is I'm going to come in while I've got this side as it is, and I'm going to put some staples in it before I do the other side. I'm going to put the staples in and I'm keeping them to within an 1/8 of an inch. You do not want to do it too big because then you risk getting them in your seam allowance. But this is just going to help it stay there while you sew it together. So I'm going to staple it and then clip it again. Opening up your zipper can help as well. Just remember though, every staple that you put in has to come out. You do not want to leave staples in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to staple all of this, and then I'll come back when it's time to sew it.
Let me tell you this, let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss still burning. Didn't know I missed this passion in life. Now I'm addicted somehow. Let me tell you what is up with your smile. It's impossible, not melting, irresistible. When I look through your eyes, not even sky's the limit. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I don't have.
Okay, so now that that's all basted on, I'm going to go ahead and take out all my staples. That's what I'm going to do. When you think you've gotten them all, double check because you're probably guaranteed to have left one. Okay, so I'm running my fingers along here to check to see if I've left any in there. And I cannot feel any, I cannot see any, but I just want to triple check. Now what I want to do is just come in and trim this down so it's even. It's going to help our fold over elastic sit flat. Look at all this mess. Okay, that looks to be all even. That looks to be all even. Now what I'm going to do is get my fold over elastic. And I'm just going to measure it. So I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm going to cut it off just here. And then I'm going to sew it together. I'm just going to put these together, right sides together. And I'm going to sew about 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, an inch, just across there. And then that's made one big loop. Trim that down, we don't need all that. Can you seal fold over elastic? Let's see. Oh, you can. There you go. And what I'm going to do before I turn it the wrong sides out is I'm just going to get my chalk pencil and just put a little bit of chalk in there so I know that that's my center. Right there. So this, when folded completely, is 10 1/4 inches. This measures in half. So that'd be 20 and a half. So I'll do 20 and a half for the next one and see how that goes. Now I'm going to turn that inside out. So I've made one big loop. You can butterfly those open, the seam, and start placing this on your bag. So my fold over elastic has got a center seam. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get it so that that center seam is on the edge. Just going to put a couple of clips at the bottom. I'm pulling it just slightly. Okay, and then come up to the top. And I can mark that in the center, and then the chalk will just wipe away. Now, when you think that you've got it all right, just check both sides to make sure that they're as even as can be. That's looking good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to base this on with 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then come in and do a second row at my full seam allowance.
Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets, and yesterday has gone to sleep. All that's left is you and me. I can't promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. And let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night. Time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by. Tries to carry all the whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream.
Look at this. Is that not the cutest little itty bitty bag? And that's my binding. Like, oh, so neat. Okay, let's do this side. Right sides together. Okay, so I'm going to do as before, and I'm just going to base these into place. Open up my zipper would be easier. I just finished the second side of the binding, and again, amazing job, because it's so neat, and that never happens. 20.5 inches of fold over elastic was perfect for me to bind each side with. So now we get to turn it inside out. And because it's finished with binding, it's just going to be really, really easy. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh my goodness, this is just adorable. You want to go ahead and push all your corners out. Oh, this is amazing. This is epic. It's so freaking cute. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I've got no words. That's the inside. Oh my goodness, this is just gorgeous. I love it. And I am so glad that I chose to do this front. I mean, that looks amazing. Now I want to do a full size one, but I want to do it in this. But I don't have enough vinyl. And then we've got our wristlet strap. You could turn this into a crossbody strap. You could add a crossbody strap, but this is... oh, this is gorgeous. I am in love with this. It was so quick. And it came together beautifully. Amazing job, Alexis. Amazing. This is beautiful. I don't think there's anything at all that I would change. The interfacing's perfect. Look at that zipper. I'm going to make more. I really am. And you know what? It is absolutely fantastic for scrap pieces of vinyl that you think are too little to do anything with. These take next to no vinyl at all. Let's just have a look at that stitching, shall we? Look at that. I am so glad that I went ahead and changed all my colours. This is bloody fantastic. Alexis, I love it. I love it. It's the perfect bag for a night out. So that's it with a wristlet strap, which is perfect. Just go on your way. Off you go. But you could quite easily add a crossbody strap. So here's one I prepared earlier from Temu, and this is a crossbody strap. And I think it's going to look perfect on this bag. Which is fantastic and a great size for a night out. It's small, fit your cards in there, your keys, your makeup. If I can get this on. There we go. And then that's it with a chain. Look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm in love with this pattern. Once this pattern is released, I'm going to order templates from Brymax because this is just amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. I really hope you buy this pattern. It is incredible. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I helped you understand anything that you weren't sure of, and this is gorgeous. Oh, and then that's the back, and we've got our gusset there. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.
We've been on and off again and again. I don't know which way we're going, no control. You push me, then you pull me back in. Don't know if I can decipher how your mind works. Yeah, you leave me wondering what it's like to feel your skin. I will keep on trying till you give me a sign. Give me a sign. Oh, give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign. Just give me one more. You leave me hanging, begging for more. Think that I'm addicted to this, can't resist to be a little risky and go for it, cause I want you close. I'm so exposed when you're keeping me wondering